This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hi, my name is Annabelle. I'm a living dead doll. I am here with Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the Living Dead Doll, Annabelle.
Hey.
How are you today, Annabelle?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us where we can see the Living Dead Doll on display next?
Yeah, so I'm Annabelle, and I am based in Norwich, England, and I wrestle for WRESTLING. Wrestling.
And where can we find, what's the next event you have coming up?
So we have an Academy show on the 15th, which is the Saturday coming up, and I'm wrestling for DOA in April the 5th.
Is that your first match outside of World Association?
So I usually wrestle for WWE, the World Association of Wrestling, but I made my DOA debut a few days ago, which was my first of that company.
Interesting. And where can we find you on social media? And
so on Instagram, I'm at Annabelle Wrestling, and Facebook, Annabelle Female Warrior, Bellatrix. But yeah, it's mostly every platform at wrestling.
And merchandise?
Merchandise, they will be available mostly at shows that I'm at, but I'm thinking about starting up a website or something where I can post it.
Okay. And you don't have to go looking for it. All the links to all her social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Alright, you just mentioned it. First promotion out of your home promotion. What was that experience like?
It was really good. It was nice to be able to, because at Bellatrix we're all very close, and all of us girls, we have a really close roster, and we wrestle each other a lot, so we know each other's movesets, we know what's going on with stuff, and it was cool to have like a new experience and be able to wrestle someone who I haven't wrestled before, and it was nice to be out where, because I live close to where DOA was held, so it was nice to be around where I'm from.
And can you tell us about your relationship with World Association of Wrestling?
Yeah, so I've been with them for nearly 11 years now. I started but I'm very close to that company, and it's so fun to be around, and it's such a nice place, and we've got our own performance center, and we have a lot of shows throughout months, and it's where I learn how to wrestle and where I train.
Okay. And you are the current Bellatrix European champion.
Yeah.
Just maybe over a year as champion as well. What does it kind of mean to you to hold that championship?
It's so cool. It's incredible to hold such a prestigious belt at such a young age, because I'm nearly 19, so I'm still 18, and I'm holding a European belt. Incredible and such a surreal experience, but it means a lot to know that I have people backing me being able to hold that belt.
Well, prior to that, you were the Academy champion as well. I believe you held it for 454 days before giving it up.
Yeah.
So you're not gold is nothing new to you, no?
No. No.
What title meant maybe more to you, may I ask?
So I feel like the title that meant the most to me had to be the Academy, only because that was my first ever title. It was the first one I won, and it was against 3 other girls that was vacated, and having the opportunity to be in a three-way match and winning my first ever belt was incredible.
Is that a moment you take in the moment, or is that something that kind of sets in afterwards, like, wow, I did this?
Yeah, it's definitely something that sets in afterwards, because you have your moment where you're like, oh, I won it, but there's still, even like a few days after, it doesn't really hit you until you go in your suitcase and you're like, oh, I won. It's great. But no, it doesn't really hit you until after. Like, there's times where I'm like, oh, wow. But yeah, it's a strange feeling. It's so cool.
Well, you have held 2 out of the 3 championships for women in Bellatrix. So the only one next is the British title, I believe, held by Tracy, no?
So we have 4 belts. So we have the Bellatrix Academy champion, we have the Bellatrix British, the European, and the World. So Tracy has the World Championship. And I have managed to get the Academy British and European.
So you're just one off, no?
Yeah.
So I imagine Tracy is in your sights next, no?
Currently, I'm focused on being able to keep the European Championship, defending it, and making sure that's still in my grasps. But yeah, in the future, I'm definitely down for that.
Right. And I mean, like I said, I apologize. I do have it here. There's 4 championships. You've held the Academy, the British, and now you're the current European. So, what does it mean to you to have held 3 of the 4 titles offered by the company?
It's amazing. It's nice to be able to hold all 3. You know, I put a lot of work into wrestling. It's something I love much, so it's really nice to be able to have something to show and be something to show for my hard work. It's really nice.
Right. Well, can you tell us about that time you were Kane?
Yes. So every year we have a Pride show to celebrate Pride Month, and we are able to do a rumble where we get to go as anyone we really want. It can be a wrestler, it can be anything. We had someone go as Barbie, and I was thinking, well, I'm short, I'm 5'1", and usual moves there and stuff is based around my height. So I thought, who could I be for a day where I can do whatever I want? And I thought I'd be Kane, so I can chokeslam people, lift people, and do stuff I never really do. I just wanted to come out as someone who's supposed to be said like 7 foot tall, as someone who is about 5 foot tall.
Where did you get the costume? Because it was very well done.
Thank you, I made it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I make some of my gear. I make some I don't, but yeah, I've started sewing and trying to make gear.
I did notice that you did start the mask. You started the match off with the mask on, but you did take it off afterwards.
Yeah, so that fell off halfway through the match because it was only like a string. It was like a party mask, which I had to glue leather onto it and shape it. it didn't stay on very well, and it got to the point where I was holding it on for ages, and then I thought, okay, I'm just gonna lose the mask because it was not staying.
Well, you mentioned, you're making your own gear now.
Yeah.
Is that something you learned specifically for pro wrestling, or is it just a skill you wanted to learn?
So when I was in college, I took textiles as a subject because I wanted to learn how to make wrestling gear. That was like the main reason I wanted to take that subject. And it's nice to have gear that other people can not really have. So with all the dresses and the frills and stuff, because it's handmade and it's made by me and I design the ideas as well, it's something that people can't necessarily replicate as well. And it just makes the whole character of Annabelle a bit more personal to me.
Is it difficult wrestling in a dress?
It's had its moments. It's easier to wrestle with less fabric on the dress. So the more like fabric on the dress and the more layers, the harder it is to wrestle. So I kind of try to keep the layers to a minimum. But I've learned how to wrestle in a dress. Like it doesn't prohibit me as much because I've learned to adapt around it, and they're usually quite short as well. So there's not a lot of fabric getting in the way of moves and stuff.
Okay, because I did notice, like you said, there seems to be quite a couple of layers to it. Right. Now, you have had the honor of being in the ring with a one Saraya Knight. Obviously well-known name, big name in pro wrestling. What's that experience been like, getting to share the ring with Saraya?
It is probably one of the best experiences you can have because I had my first match with her, I think, maybe quite a few years ago. It was in Beccles, and it's a nice experience because you go in there, you fight, you wrestle, and it's a very good learning experience, and you just learn so much from her because she trains us sometimes as well. We have her training us, so anything that she teaches me, she knows what she's taught me. So when you get in the ring, most of the things that I've learned from her. So she can tell what and be able to counter it and stuff like that. But it's so nice to be able to wrestle someone I've grown up with. She's taught me since I was 7. So she's really seen me grow up, and it was nice to be able to have a match against her. But we've wrestled quite a lot since then, and it's one of my favorite matches to have.
What would you say would be the biggest difference between the first match you had with her and the last match you've had with her?
I would definitely say experience, because in my I think I've grown a lot as a person and learned a lot more since my first match with her. And that helped me be able to move around better, do more cool stuff. And yeah, experience was the main factor. I can tell from watching the 2 matches the difference.
Now, you were Queen of the Ring in 2023. Can you tell us about that experience and that honor of winning that tournament?
Yeah. So with Queen of the Ring, you have 7 rounds, and you start off with doing 1 match, and whoever wins that match goes into the next round and fights the person who won their match as well. So if you get through to the second round, there's a third round, which is a final face-off between the 2 people who've won 2 matches already to see who becomes Queen of the Ring. So you have to wrestle 3 matches, and by the third one, you're going to be a bit bruised, battered up, and you've still got to use everything you have left within you to fight to see who wins the Queen of the Ring.
And I mean, what did it mean to you to win that tournament?
It felt nice because as soon as you hold the cup is massive as well, the trophy. It was so nice to be able to win it because you put all your effort into fighting the 3 rounds, and you're tired by the end. And after all the effort you put in, and you can stand up and hold it, and that you've won it. Even though we did have a lot of cheating going on in the last match by Fiona, but Fifi came out, stopped her from cheating. That then led to Angel coming out, attacking me, which then led to the British title.
So, lots of chaos, no?
Yeah. The roster, but that's what makes it so fun.
And, speaking of 2023,
yes.
you were, Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah.
Obviously a big year for you. What did it mean to you to have been given that honor, especially considering, it was a fan voted poll. So, the fans chose you.
Yeah. that was a huge honor, because having the fans choose you, they're with us throughout the whole year. Most of the fans that we have at WW have been with us for a long time. Some there since I first started, which is amazing. But they've seen me grow as a wrestler, and they've seen the stages of me adapting the character, changing up the style, making it more personal, better. And they chose me as Wrestler of the Year, which meant a lot to me, because it shows, it's a way of them showing that they've seen you improve, that they've seen you become better, and it's nice to know that they see the hard work as well.
Now, I mean, you've mentioned it. You started pro wrestling at 8, and you're currently 18. So you have 10 years experience, while a lot of people in America are just starting at 18.
Yeah.
And I did find it interesting. You have been Annabelle for primarily your entire career.
Yeah. Was
there ever thought in your mind to change things up or switch to a new character, considering, you developed that character at 8?
So with my character, it's something that's stuck with me for a long time. So when I first started, I came out as just myself. I didn't really have a character much, and I think that went on for about a year before I decided I want to change it up. I did my hair different, and then eventually we came up with the character of Annabelle, which was named by Saraya Knight. She named me Annabelle.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I've never really had a doubt with this character in my mind, because she's grown as I've grown. So she's gone through a lot of different stages, a lot of eras and different times, and if I ever felt something wasn't quite working, I would adapt it in a way. But because the character of Annabelle has been with me since I very much started, she's become really personal to me, and I'm just able to change it with age. So as I've got older, I've changed it to fit me better, so that it doesn't need to leave. It evolves as I evolve.
Gotcha. That being said, can you tell us about Annabelle TV?
Annabelle TV?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, do you mean like Annabelle on TV? Like, is she gonna...
You did a 4-episode TV show?
Oh, yes. Okay, now... Yeah. Oh, no. So that... We had a very big show coming up. We had Fightmare, which is the biggest show of WW, our biggest show of the year. And I was thinking, how should I promote each match? And I was trying to figure out a way in which would work. And I thought, why not create my own little mini series of a TV show? And it took a while for the concept to come up, gather some ideas on what I should do for each match. But I wanted to make it, because sometimes with kids' TV shows, sometimes they have these creepy underlying tones towards them. And I wanted to keep it like a kid's show, but also make it kind of creepy, but not obviously creepy. When people look at it, they're a bit uneasy, so like, to keep it in key with the character. But I make it quite funny, but also entertaining. And there was a bloopers thing that I posted of that, and many scenes of it as well. I thought I would just post that for the fun. Turns out I do not like sparklers. I learned holding a sparkler and it kept nearly firing at me. It was very scary. Considering I've got a scary character, but nearly got a fear of sparklers is quite funny in its own self. But yeah, I don't know how many episodes I did. I think maybe 4 or 5.
You did,
but
4.
I didn't Nightmare until maybe the 3rd, going on for the 4th episode. So yeah, they were fun to do. I don't know if Annabelle TV will return. If it does, great. But I think I might try and come up with another new concept, keep people entertained. But I love my promo videos.
Let's put a pin in that for a second. Did you figure out that you had a fear of sparklers, or did you just develop that fear during that promo?
But sparklers, they weren't. I don't know if I'd call it a fear or a phobia, because then I might have people chasing me with sparklers from now on, which I wouldn't recommend. It's not very safe. Like I did in my promo, my safety regulation. But I was handed a sparkler because I was working on it. I just held the sparkler and I was like, oh god, this is scary, because all the little bits of fire, they fire off at you. I had to hold it outwards. Yeah, no, I should have been. I think you're supposed to have gloves with sparklers or something as well, or like some safety things. But I just went to a shop and saw sparklers and thought, oh, this would make a good promo. I don't know how it came to my head. I was like, oh, this might work, and I'll figure out a way to make it work. But yeah, I was just holding a sparkler. But yeah, no, I don't like sparklers.
Well, if your next opponent comes out with sparklers, I deeply apologize.
Oh no, it's all right. I think because the fire just comes off. I think it might, yeah, put them at ease as well. I'll be gone. I'll be fine. I'll leg it. Don't worry. I'll go sit with the audience.
So, Annabelle TV, that was all you
Yeah.
developed all of that.
Unfortunately, yeah, that was all me.
So that's really interesting, because there was a lot of content in that. So there was no help from anybody else.
No. So for my promo videos, any promo videos that I film, I sit down and I try to think of a location, maybe some ideas. I look based mainly on what match or the stipulations of the match to help gather ideas. But yes, and then yeah, I just kind of look at the characters, see what ideas I can get roughly from it, and base it creepily, and see what happens. But I edit them myself with an app. I come up with the ideas, the concepts. I sometimes film them myself, but usually I get someone to help me at least film the videos, because I can't film at the same time. Sometimes it's quite difficult. So I get like a family member to help me with filming. But yeah, I edit them, I come up with the ideas, and that's why some of them are quite strange and letting people kind of into the brain of Annabelle. And yeah.
No, I definitely dig it. And they're actually, pretty well done, if I do say so myself. So, maybe not a return of Annabelle TV? Possibly?
I mean, you never know. It's undetermined. It might come back. It depends. Probably different ideas, but there can always be a series 2 of Annabelle TV if people want it. But I'm not sure if I'd quite want it. But if they do, yeah.
All right. Hashtag we want Annabelle TV. All right. Now you were in a 6-way with a one Zaya Brookside. Big name, established name. What was that experience like, being in the ring with her?
It was really cool to be in the ring with her. She's so good to work with, and we didn't have much spots together, but the bits we did have together it was really nice to be able to work with her. because I remember seeing her at Epic Studios in Norwich when I was still wrestling company then, but I was a lot younger, and I did an entrance with a horror kind of group called Sigma. So I came out as Annabelle at the very start of it, and I remember seeing her wrestle, and just seeing her wrestle then was really cool, and to be able to have an opportunity to be in the ring with her recently, quite a few years ago, was also amazing to be able to be a part of.
All right. Now, I think it's a good time for Annabelle's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Well, there's many stories. There's a lot of stories with when I was younger. I come out with a porcelain doll, and I would say maybe about 10 is a guess. And we had a trainer who was quite a lot bigger than me, and no one's really seen him like run before, like proper like run away. But he has a fear of dolls. I was an annoying 10-year-old. Like, I had great ideas. I was like, what if I got out my car, not my car, you shouldn't be driving at the age of 10. Out there, I was not the one driving. And I chased him across a field with a doll, and that's like one of the first time people have actually seen him like run fast, and it was so fun to do. Yes, but yeah.
Alright, so was it something you knew in advance that he had a fear of dolls, or was it something that, oh, he has a fear of dolls?
Oh, I knew. As a 10-year-old, I was like, I'm going to pick on the fact. Someone chasing me with a sparkler, but no, no, not. But yeah, no, I knew he was scared of dolls, because every time I would walk into the centre we had then, which is a different performance centre we have now, he would always comment on the fact I had a doll, and he was like, yep, don't come anywhere near me with that. So I was like, I'm going to use that to my advantage. I love, but yeah, chased him with a doll.
Now, can you tell us about that time you rode in on a tricycle?
Yeah, that was really fun. So that was a Halloween show, and one of my favourite horror movie genres is, well, favourite movie genres, I gave it away in the sentence, is horror. Horror movies, and I love basing my character upon that. So every time I'm like, also with gear I base some of my gear on horror movie characters, and I try to take inspiration as showing it in outfits. But I really like Billy the Puppet, and I thought, for Halloween, I want to be Billy the Puppet from Saw, the horror movie. And I've got the dress, I've got the outfits, the makeup, and I was like, the look is not complete without a tricycle. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, which is a scary place in itself. On the day of, I went on Facebook Marketplace, turned up at someone's house in Lowestoft to get a tricycle. And yeah, I went to the show. I had to try go down the ramp on the tricycle beforehand, because I knew that would be a catastrophe. Because I was ready. I nearly fell off the tricycle. I managed to stay on it. But yeah, and I even got in the ring on the tricycle and wrestled on a tricycle, which is a very nice experience. I didn't think that would be something I would ever do. But yeah, until I got the tricycle, someone, yeah, like sweet chin music me off the tricycle.
I felt like you're making history. Like you're playing, you're doing Kane, you're doing tricycles. It seems like you have these ideas and they work. No?
Just trying to see what I can, how far I can get away with things, and so, see it works. Taking things that don't seem like they would make sense and can make sense, but they're working. Waiting for something to just not make sense. But they're all, to be honest, my character. The whole point of Annabelle is she doesn't make sense. She's the living dead doll. She's not normal. She's not sane. She's working around things, and yeah, I feel like she would love to just wrestle on a tricycle. So I thought, why not?
Right. No, you mentioned, the Sora attire. You're making your own ring attire now. Is there
Yes.
anything in coming up that we should know about?
I have way too many ideas for gear at the moment. I need to settle on one. But I like going along the Alice in Wonderland route. That's something I really like. I love Alice in Wonderland, the whole story of it and how it's really strange and creepy at the same time. Like, it's meant to be Disney, but there's still a creepy undertone for Alice in Wonderland, all of that. So I've got Alice in Wonderland gear currently, so Queen of Hearts might be next. But with horror characters, I've done Chucky, I've done Annabelle, which is ironic.
Right.
Esther from The Orphan. I'm thinking about Pennywise probably soon. Is quite a cool thing. But Billy the Puppet I've done. But yeah, there's a lot of ideas, a lot of horror characters. Samara from The Ring is a good one as well. But anything to do with Alice in Wonderland or any horror characters is probably in the mix, which will come up soon.
I mean, you mentioned it. Tell us about your love of the horror genre.
Yeah, so I don't know how it came across. Like, when I was younger, the character was just, it kind of appeared, like it slowly developed into something more creepy. It was more the fact I looked, because I was young and my hair was really curly, I looked like a doll. So getting a porcelain doll, and I started coming out with a porcelain doll to we were looking like each other, and then she was controlled by the doll. So anything that happened to the doll, if the doll got thrown across the ring, I would follow, almost like voodoo and controlling. And from a young age, I did watch some horror movies, I will admit, probably the age rating, but with parents' guidance. But I did watch horror movies, and it was just something quite cool about them and how different and strange they were. Like, I really enjoy the whole acting side of wrestling, and I took performing arts also in college, so I'm very much I love theatre and all that stuff. So I wanted to have a character that relates very much to being dramatic, theatre, over the top. And I kind of just clicked with horror movies and really liked the creepy side and the factors and how they move and how I can incorporate that into my wrestling style with how I move my arms differently, my legs, everything is very well thought out. And even how I bump, how I take moves, and how I sit up after, everything's very constructed based on what I've watched from horror movies and seeing how they move, how dolls move. So Annabelle, the way she tilts her head in the movie and stuff is what I've incorporated into this character and stuff like that.
What's your go-to horror movie?
Oh, okay. That is... It changes quite a lot, but I like the Chucky franchise, which is really cool. I like that. But my favourite horror... For a while, it's been Orphan. The Orphan is such a strange... stranger the concepts, the more entertaining it is and appeals. But my favourite movie from when I was younger was The Conjuring. So obviously Annabelle and
right.
Balak.
I feel like you have to kind of say Annabelle. Obligated at this point, no?
Like Annabelle. But which is, I think that was the first time I kind of saw her. I developed the character before I watched the films, but I was named after the character. But it took, because when I got named Annabelle, I think I was probably about 9, so that's probably not the right time to be watching Annabelle the horror movies. Like a little older, maybe about 12. I watched Annabelle and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I'm kind of obligated to see it. But it's strange that I couldn't really watch the movie before I was named Annabelle, before I became the character. So I based it on just, my character's mainly based on porcelain dolls, like how I look at porcelain dolls. If you see them in charity shops and stuff, their outfits, I kind of want to look like that. That's my kind of inspiration, main inspiration of porcelain dolls.
did you maybe get a little bit more perspective on the character after watching the movie?
Yeah, 100%. So any movies that have any type of dolls and stuff in gave me a lot more perspective. Because I could see how... Because when you... Obviously, dolls don't move. So
Right.
you can't tell how they move. So watching horror movies, and mainly ones with dolls in, you can gather the way they move and stuff. Even movies like Pinocchio with puppets and Disney, you can watch that. You did like, there's no really age rating for that. You can see how they move, and which is really helpful. But yeah, watching Annabelle and any other movies with dolls in gave me a lot more insight on the character itself.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Marvel fan?
Yes, that's yeah. That started like maybe a few years ago. That was quite recent, to be fair. But I got into Marvel like a few years ago. I've got a large comic collection, and all the comics are so cool. And eventually, I might sway a little bit from horror for one gear and try maybe theme it Marvel related.
Ooh.
Maybe the two, maybe a mix of horror and Marvel, because it's a really cool combination. But yeah, so I collect comics and all that, and it's graphic novels, and it's I love Marvel related stuff and all the characters. So
Right. What's your favorite comic right now? Who are you reading?
I like the Spider-Man comics quite a lot, but the comics that my favorite character is Black Widow. Some of my moves in the ring also resemble her slightly, like the head scissors. And well, one of my submissions is called the Black Widow. That was before I watched Marvel. It is called the Black Widow, but it's the submission AJ Lee did in WWE. It's
Right.
called the Octopus. But yeah, so any type of like Spider-Man comics are cool, and comics. But yeah, Scarlet Witch as well, Wanda.
Wanda. So, staying on Spider-Man, what has been your favorite arc or saga? I kind of forget what they're called, but what's been your favorite series so far of the Spider-Man comics?
So with the comics, I have like there's a little bookshop near where in Yarmouth, and there's another new comic shop in Yarmouth as well. So I've got two comic shops. So like recently, I was just trying to get whatever I can kind of get my hands on, like, because there weren't usually a lot of comics around Yarmouth, so it was really hard to get a hold of them because it's quite small. But whichever ones is kind of what I read. I have a habit of not actually. I get like part 1, part 4.
Okay.
Or like part 1, 4, and then you're completely missing part 2, and then you have no idea what's going on halfway through the middle, and it just skips, and I'm like, oh. So yeah, pretty much whatever I can find, I'll pretty much read. But yeah, I like the style of comics, and just how they look was really cool.
So you want to get the trade paperbacks, because that's literally the full story. But it's episode 1, 2, 3, 4. It's everything. It's that whole saga.
Yeah, I've recently started trying to get like graphic novel ones, which usually have like the whole which is good. I've started doing that now because I've gone through the whole thing of ending up getting comics, and I'm like, oh, I can't even read the whole thing. I'm like, oh no, like a major plot in the middle, they'll stick there, and I'll skip and be like, oh, what's happening here? And I wouldn't have a clue what's going on.
Alright, is there anything currently that you'd like to get your hands on?
Well, I'm always collecting like horror memorabilia, anything really. I went and bought a Ghostface costume, which is funny because I can't even wear it because it's like a costume. I can wear it, but it's supposed to be for people who are about 6 foot tall, which I didn't read on the package. I can wear the mask. So any other Halloween wrestling shows coming up, that's an idea. But yeah, but currently just trying to collect horror stuff and Marvel stuff. So anything that I can really find.
Alright.
But I'm interested. I recently watched Agatha All Along, and Agatha Harkness is one of my favorite characters at the moment because she's a witch, and I feel like I can. She's one of them characters which I feel like I could base wrestling gear off, and I feel like she would very much. Her and Annabelle, I think, could mix very well in gear.
I could definitely see that. You know, the one thing that I actually liked about the Agatha series was that they never made Agatha a face. She stayed a heel through the whole duration of the show, even though she was the main character.
Yeah. What I like is even though she was the bad person in this, and even in WandaVision she was said to be bad, somehow she was still everyone really liked her, which can happen a lot in wrestling when you have heel wrestlers. Crowd actually very much like them. It happened with my old character. I was a heel long ago, quite long ago now, but it's the crowd were the people who slowly turned me face, because the more I wrestled, the more they interacted, and they suddenly stopped booing me and started to show interest. I think it's based on the look of the character. It was something that was cool, and sometimes you don't usually see these kind of characters, and they wanted to see more, and it slowly turned me face. And good character.
What is that like, being a heel and being a child?
It's so when you're younger, as a child, which I've realised is you care less. You kind of, my mindset when I went out there when I was younger is so different to what it is now. Because when I went out there when I was younger, I was doing it, and I didn't really have much on my mind. I was like, oh, this is so fun. Like, I get to be something creepy. I'm focusing on the character and everything. And now I have such a wider perspective of what's going on. And it's just, I look at it very different now. Like, I notice everything. So changes in the audience, when they start cheering, when they're not, when it starts to go silent, I notice a lot more. So instead of going out there kind of like unaware, I'm very much aware of a lot of things, like movement around the ring, gap spaces, where my opponent is, how the crowd reacts. I'm very aware of it now. Whereas when I was younger, I feel like I kind of wrestled because it was fun, and now I wrestle because it's something I love and something that I really want to learn more about.
I'm curious, do you go back and you watch those old matches?
Yes. I watched some of my old matches, and it's always good to watch your old matches because you can look back at things and go, right, that didn't quite work. What can I do to improve? What can I do to change? A lot of my old matches, especially with promos, I do not like hearing my voice back. It's something a lot of people really don't like, is they don't like listening to their own voice back and hearing it, because it sounds different in your head than it sounds when you listen to it back, and it's really I pay a lot of attention to what I say, what I can do better, and it's watching old matches back, I need to be more lenient on myself, because when I watch them back, I'm like, oh, I didn't like that. I can change that. I can adapt that. But then I also need to remember, at that moment of time, I've been doing it for that many years. I was a lot younger. I was still a child, so I need to be a lot more lenient on my past matches. But yeah, no, I think it helps to critique them and have other people watch your matches back and critique them as well, so that you can learn and become better.
I gotcha. And you mentioned, loving horror and Marvel. I'm curious, have you ever seen Werewolf by Night?
I haven't.
It is I believe, it's on Disney Plus, and it's basically a werewolf horror film that's based in the Marvel universe.
Oh, cool.
So, I think that would really appeal to you if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I like watching like a lot of new things, new horrors, and try to take inspiration. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a look at that.
The cool thing about it is that there's actually two versions of the movie. There's one that's black and white, and there's one that's in color.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And there's actually a Marvel horror creatures series as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of mix between Marvel and horror as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I think it's time for the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
I would have to say Dollhouse by Melanie Martinez because that is my theme song. It's about, well, creepy underlying tones. Anything to be in an Annabelle movie would have like Dollhouse, which is like not too creepy, but I think the rest of the songs would have to be quite creepy. Anything from like movie soundtracks, horror movies, just we'll steal them. We'll steal them. We'll take down. I'll get copyrighted. But actually, I'll get copyrighted for them all. But yeah, no. Yeah, pretty much. There are a lot of horror movie soundtracks I think would fit very well with Annabelle's character. But the main song would have to be Dollhouse by Melanie Martinez because it's been my theme since it's been my only theme song so the whole 10 years, so it works. But yeah, I can't really think what other ones, but maybe they have the music box from The Conjuring, the music box sound, which is quite, yeah, it's very doll related, which, yeah, so I'd say that as well.
Okay. So the box sound, the Melanie Martinez song, and basically copyright every other horror movie soundtrack.
Out of everyone else's movies, whichever horror. Yeah, I'll get copyright claims, but it's okay.
Hey, we have the budget to deal with that.
Yeah, we'll make that someone else's problem to deal with, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, clearly we'll need a lawyer for this movie.
Alright, we have a lawyer in WWE, a gimmick. Someone does a lawyer gimmick, so if we can get him on board, we'll get Saraya Matthews. We'll get him on board.
Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting.
Perfect.
Who plays Annabelle, and you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Oh, yay! Oh, at least I get to make a cameo. That's good. There's ain't really, because a lot of the people who have played young people in horror movies have mostly grown up. But there's McKenna Grace. I feel like she looks kind of not completely similar to me, but she looks kind of, yeah, I think she's around my age as well. I think she'd be quite good at it. She played in the movie Abigail, I think it was. Oh, I can't remember her name, but she was really good in it, and I think we'd have to wait until she gets a bit older because she's a lot younger than me. But yeah, maybe McKenna Grace. I feel like she looks a lot like me, so if she could do horror movies, yeah.
And the Abigail actress is Alicia Wheeler.
Yes. Yeah, when she'd have to have a blonde wig though. She should have to. Yeah.
Alright. Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people significant to you in your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
I would have to have Saraya Knight because she's trained me the whole time.
Clearly.
My dad would be. He drives me. So ever since I started, because I live at an hour away, like 45 minutes on a good day, from Norwich and where I train, and he has always driven me to all the wrestling shows and all the trainings that I needed to go to. So he would be a big part of it all the times he's driven me. And it's hard to pick a third. There's a lot of girls on our roster that I'm very close with. I would say maybe, because I would want to include like most of my family members. My sister used to wrestle, but I would probably say she wrestles under the name Moles. She is very close with her. We're friends, like good friends, best friends. So, and yeah, she's been through. She started close to me as well in the early gym. So yeah, I would say her.
And who will be playing these individuals?
Oh, well, we had fun with my family movie,
Yes.
which based on the company, and we had someone cast as Saraya Knight. So if he wants to make a return,
I believe it was
the same.
Lena Headley.
Yeah, because she, like, the resemblance was it was good. I have no idea who could play my dad. He cast him. He's one of a kind. His attitude is it's funny. He's a funny person.
Okay,
But
we could leave it up to casting.
And I don't want to. A lot of people cast the same people. I've got because a lot of the people I know are quite young. Like Moles is the same age as me. He's a little bit like about a month or 2 weeks 2 weeks younger. But so I don't want to say Jenna Ortega because she's casted in a lot of things, but I see a slight resemblance, and she usually plays quite younger characters sometimes. So maybe Jenna Ortega.
Okay. This is sounding like a great movie. A blockbuster, to say the least.
Yeah, and a lot of money to hire the actors.
Well, hey, that's the great thing about having unlimited budget.
Yeah, we've got unlimited budget. We don't. No one can tell us. It's alright. If not, it'll be filmed like one of my promo videos. We'll get.
And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Yeah. See.
All right. On to a controversial subject.
Oh no.
Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
This is going to be controversial because I don't like sauce on pizza. This is even more controversial. The amount of people I've told I don't like pizza, but I eat pizza if I don't have the sauce on it, which is really strange because then it's just like a cheese toasty. It's just like cheese on bread. But I also don't like cheese. But on the... it doesn't taste like cheese, you know? It's like fake cheese. It's not real cheese. Well, it's cheese, but I don't like pizza, so and I don't like the sauce on it. So, but pineapple on pizza. I don't know if I can have an opinion with the thing I've just said. I don't know if my opinion counts, but I haven't tried it with without the sauce on the pizza. It might be alright. Maybe it's like the sauce and the pineapple mixed together. That may not taste nice, but I like pineapple, so it might be alright. But I don't. Yeah, I don't like pizza. Like, what? She don't have sauce on a pizza? That's weird. It is. It's very strange, but it does taste nice. So if not, people should try it. I guarantee. It just tastes like a cheese toasty, but like not really. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you didn't necessarily offend the people on the pineapple side or the anti-pineapple on side, so technically you're winning.
I've either not offended anyone or I've offended everyone by that comment. Everyone's looking down at me with judgment. They're like, oh.
Well, definitely people are going to be thinking, why doesn't she like pizza? That's for sure. But you're not
Sorry.
going to get unfollowed for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look on my account and everyone's unfollowed me for that statement. No.
No, that's not going to happen. If you would have chosen one or the other, pineapple or non-pineapple, possibly, yes.
They would have been like,
Alright, so just anti-pizza in general.
yeah, yeah.
What's your spirit Pokemon?
Oh, I don't know. There was a Pokemon I liked. I used to have Pokemon Go at one point, where I'd sit in a car and as I drive I'd try to find them. But that was when I was like a lot younger. I don't really watch Pokemon as much. I don't know which one. Which one do you think is like? Maybe I wear blue a lot, so maybe is it like Squirtle? He wears blue. I don't know which one it is. Which one do you think I'm most like?
Well, if we're going with Annabelle, then I definitely want to say a ghost type. Oh, and there's this ghost type that. Okay, well, we'll come back to this because I need a minute to think of this.
And I was like, I don't think I can recall many Pokemon, and I'm like, yeah, see what, get another opinion.
Ghost type, hold on. Okay, here we go. Miss Grievous.
Yeah, by the name, that sounds fitting.
Yeah. I mean, you could Google it later, and you may confirm or deny. Alright. Now, we love the late, great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
No.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail, 'cause a dog can't spell.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers, trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
That's so cool.
Yes. Now weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Depends how big the Rock is.
I'd say it's around the size of a shoe.
No, I feel like, I was going to say, because if it's a small rock, I might have a fighting chance, like the size of a shoe. Well, it depends, because is it just a rock or is it someone with a rock? Because if you get a rock thrown at you, that's
No.
that's going to be a long day for you. But then I think I have quite a fighting chance. Yeah, I think I could be a rock, not the Rock, a rock. If it's the size of a shoe. Because if it's not the size of a shoe, then I'll probably get crushed by a rock, and that's not a fun way.
Alright. Well, just for context, there is a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I've seen wrestle a mop before.
I'm pretty sure Mike's done that as well. Mike's known for wrestling inanimate objects.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
I day to have a match where I can just wrestle something that doesn't move, an inanimate rod. Yeah. Yeah, I'll wrestle a rock one day. I plan on it.
Alright, Von Vertigo, if you're listening, book the damn match. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, wow. I hope to have travelled a lot more. I want to travel across like more areas in England. Maybe go abroad. I very much want to go to America. I do want to go to WWE. whether that happens in 5 years or not, it's 5, maybe 10 years. I hope to be in WWE. But yeah, I want to travel around, go to different countries, be able to wrestle for many different places. But yeah.
And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what Annabelle is all about as a pro wrestler?
Pretty much. Yeah, if anyone's down for it, we have Bellatrix shows. There should be one on the 21st of February, which is very soon. But yeah, so any match that just come support WW and come see me as a wrestler. But me vs Saraya, like saying that's always been a good match. But any of the girls I wrestle on our roster are amazing, and yeah, just come down, see a bit of British wrestling, and it's nice.
Is there any match on maybe YouTube that you'd like people to see?
Yeah, so there's a WAW and Bellatrix YouTube channel, and they post full shows, so eventually. And if not, I have on my Instagram, I usually post highlights of my matches. But yeah, and post the link for the full match. But we did a 24-hour show, and where we were there for 24 hours, and we did loads of different matches. So there's loads of different shows and variations. We have rumbles, tags, three-way matches, Survivor Series matches, loads of different ones. So they should all be mainly on their YouTube channel. If not, my Instagram will have the highlights.
All right. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I think so, yeah. Find out.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh no. I'm not very speed round. This is going to be the worst speed round ever done. It's going to be very slow. Yeah, no, see, I'm very not speedy. Oh no!
Take your time.
I'm like, who do I pick? I liked Victoria from WWE. I liked her.
Okay. Worst wrestler.
Oh no. Me when I first started. Does that cop out?
I will not accept that answer.
No! I was like, please accept it.
Would you like the default answer?
Yeah, because I feel guilty, because then someone will message me. Like, actually, no, they won't message me. Yeah.
You have chosen Eva Marie.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's fair enough.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Rhea Ripley.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
The Undertaker.
Which one?
Maybe around early 2000s.
So that was American Badass.
Yeah, that's cool. Do I want that one? Maybe before. Maybe. I mainly watched him when maybe 2009. Maybe I think I probably watched him. I liked that one, but
so
yeah,
classic
maybe
Undertaker.
We'll go 2009, 10.
So classic Undertaker thing.
Yeah, we'll go for that one.
Okay.
But I want to come out on a motorbike. I came out on a tricycle.
I was gonna say, lucky you came out on a tricycle.
How on a tricycle coming out to that? No.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
real.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast?
Yeah. Possibly.
Squash, vegetable or fruit?
What most of my matches end up. Because, yeah, meat again. But I was... fruit. Wait. I don't know. Vegetable. No, we'll go with what my matches end up. We'll go with that. That's a safer option.
I will accept that answer. New Japan wrestler Taichi, his ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
In my opinion, it's whoever's wearing it, depends what they're comfortable with. For me, I like to be very fully covered, so as long as nothing is out, that's my appropriate, how I feel about it. But yeah, no, it depends on the person, so whatever they feel comfortable with. But if some much, so sometimes too far.
Okay, so to each their own.
Yeah.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No, I haven't.
And that is the correct answer.
Yeah.
And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you.
Once again, can you tell us where we can find all things Annabelle on social media?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at Annabelle Wrestling. I have a TikTok account as well because TikTok's quite big now. But yeah, it's also at Annabelle Wrestling, and my Facebook is Annabelle Bellatrix Female Warrior.
And you don't even have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all her social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give her a damn follow. And if you're at the show, buy a damn shirt. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. But on YouTube and Castbox, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say Wrestling With, you say entertainment, okay? For our special guest Annabelle, Calico Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling With
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling With Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys, we appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.